more minutes left here in Gridiron, Queensland in the year 2020. 27 points to 12. The Bayside Ravens in their 20th year lead the Gold Coast Stingrays here with 2 more quarters to play. They will be receiving the ball after deferring their first half option. Kenny Andres, Justin Fernley and Liam Reeves floating our information back and forth here for you for the final half of football for Gridiron Queensland in 2020. Brought to you by live streaming Brisbane. Here on the, all the way from down the road and out to as far as Port Moresby, California, England checking in. Wherever you are in the world, appreciate you joining us.
Starting the second half with some light, I think you'd call that light to medium rain falling down. So far it hasn't really had too much of an effect on the game. Both teams seemingly running and passing the ball quite successfully. And there have been a couple of unusual mishandlings of the ball.
It'd be interesting to see if you thought it was dry in that halftime sheds and then came out to see this rain.
Bit of a shout out to some of the GQ legends in the crowd today. Christian McCarty there, obviously sweating on a Ravens victory, and the Razorbacks boy, Phil Taylor, sometimes Queensland state team manager, Jason Leinberg, ex-Razorback, who really doesn't do much except look attractive and certain lights.
Certain lights. These are the joys you get if you actually come out and watch these games live. In this instance here at Sunshine Coast Stadium. Tommy Torzok hailing from a Gardner Webb. The Webb.
We're waiting on a ball. What are we waiting on here? No, we've got a ball. The box man.
Oh, we are waiting on the chain crew, I'm being told. We're waiting for the... someone's missing on there. Someone's sweating on their volunteer duties. The chain crew is a 3-person job. Go on, if you ever wanted to be part of a Gridiron chain crew, now's your chance.
Get out there.
Sunball 2020. It's the year to try new things.
Big shout out to Vicky Bakel out there with the official GQ photographer duties today. She's braved the rain to do another outstanding job in taking some photographs of the players and officials and the general day-to-day activities during the game. Thank you very much, Vicky. Get out there. Her husband Aaron's probably here today, staying undercover and laughing at his wife commitment.
Has managed to dodge filming duties with this Sunball.
Oh,
has jumped on the camera 4 spot a couple of times in Sunball history. And
that one's going out of bounds.
We are not risking a Warwick Russell return here, or dare I say a Chris Clark reverse.
Well, I guess they figure they're either going to
kick out of bounds. So kicking team.
Giving them an extra, 15 yards I think they get?
Ball be placed on the 30-yard line. First down.
30-yard line. Getting the ball on the 30, an extra 10 yards on what a kick touchback would be. It's probably not a bad result. If they can stop them from here, they can stop them from the 5-yard line. So
we finished the second quarter with back-to-back touchdowns. Stegman to Russell. Russell matched up with Sinapati once more. Bessie in the slot. And this is a bad snap, and
that could get a penalty.
A bunch of vigor coming through, and that flag will be attracted.
Oh.
Malloy already stepping in the numbers to try and argue his point.
That would have hurt Stegman too.
And both players are down, in fact. I think that's Lagerstrom.
Stegman there copying the helmet.
Ooh, that's right to the...
dead set attacking with the crown of the helmet. It might even have potential for an ejection here.
Yes, well, that is exactly right. It is the crown of the helmet.
Oh,
that
dangerous for both players.
I would not object. And quite frankly, I think that's not going to matter because I think he's done more damage to himself here. I'm trying trying to figure out who's still down. It looks like it's Stegman.
That's
I thought both players were down.
Stegman's still down. The
Thought that Lagerstrom was still down for a moment.
the number 3 from the Rays that did it, he's down because it was a nasty looking hit. The angle on his head and neck. It's a good way to get yourself permanently injured.
Well, I got to say, and please, I'm not saying this in anything other than to be educational, but this is exactly why they coach heads-up football.
Yep.
See what you hit, because
I mean, the only defence, possibly he was looking at the ball. He had eyes on the ball, and he just forgot the fact that he was going to make contact looking for the ball. But
I'm well and truly prepared to give him benefit of the doubt. 'Cause you're right, it was a loose ball on the ground there, and this is a tight.
The angle he was coming at and where the ball was, it's a good argument. The fact that he was just looking at that ball.
And I think you're right.
You got the hands in there trying to get a piece of it. That's got to play a lot to do with the ultimate contact.
And I think you're right here, and I think this is one of those situations you get lost on a football objective, and it's just become an accident.
Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I think that's what's happened. I don't think he's coming with the malice to really spear anybody, but I think he's just looking for the ball. Hopefully,
penalty will stand. It looks like we are going to get a targeting call. And it also looks like Mitch Bessie will have to step into quarterback for at least a play. We'll see how healthy Stegman is. It looks like he's still talking to his team and he's up and about, so... And Lagerstrom is
Malloy
still...
and Newton arguing their case. I mean, I think they've got a case. If that's what they're saying, I think it's a fair call, fair comment from them. But unfortunately, what do you do in these situations? You know, Jared Stegman's the one left with a rather potentially nasty injury to his back. And as good as the Stingrays players' intentions might have been, I guess it's going to get a penalty called on it every time.
Well, I'm putting this out there, and this is going to sound odd, but I believe they've still got a challenge remaining, and that is a 15-yard penalty.
Challenge?
Well, you can charge anything that results in 15 yards or more.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I mean, the fact that he get his hands in front of him, normally in a classic spearing, that the hands are back.
tucked underneath
Further
the
review,
chest.
the call on the field is
Hands
confirmed.
in front, looking
Personal
for the ball,
foul.
trying to get-
Number 3, unnecessary roughness with targeting. Number 3 has disqualified himself from the game. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And, well, I think that is just academic. I think he would be returning to this game, even if he was, even if it wasn't a penalty there. You can see receiving some serious medical attention here and some very precautious energy.
Yeah, I
help.
mean, it's a really tough call. I mean, the fact that he's hurt himself, obviously, as badly as he has, again suggests that he didn't have that neck balled, anticipating that contact. I think his intention has just been get in there, get the ball, and unfortunately, his head got in the way. Certainly that's not going to make Jared's back feel any better. Well, Jared's moving pretty well now, so that's a good result. He's a tough unit.
And quite frankly, just this extended break might be enough just to have rubbed it good.
Oh, hopefully it's an extended break also doesn't make that pain set in, because I've had injuries to my back, and for the first minute or so you feel pretty good, and then it starts to get a bit cold, and all of a sudden I don't feel so good. Ribs can be a funny thing.
We might be in for a bit more of an extended break here. I'm not sure how much longer we've got to wait. We might consider taking a short break if that's available to us.
Aircon noise might have got too much for Paul. Take all my clothes off.
All right, we'll take a short audio break. Be back shortly. All right, and that is Bjorn Lagerstrom getting assisted off the field there by GQ and Stingray's president Craig James, as well as GQMC Kate Bennett.
Yeah. Will linebacker, that's going to create another headache for the Stingrays defence.
If they didn't have enough patchwork, as is.
They're playing like a...
First down and 10. We are back 27-12, third quarter. Just under 12 minutes. Bessie in motion. Darius Holiday Miller in this Wildbird package. And that's obviously because Stegman has to stay off and whoa.
We've lost it down a chain crew.
I think that might be one of the documentarian cameramen around.
Looks like a nasty hit too.
Let's see if there's a replay of that. I'm not sure if we caught that. Just keep your eye on the down marker there in one of the yellow jackets.
Having trouble getting up.
Oh, it is a down marker, gentlemen. I thought it was one of the camera operators. It was one of the gentlemen who were, I don't know if it was filling in late, but he has copped one heck of a shot. And we're going to take another break here because it looks like we're due for another extended break and another injury, not the type you'd expect. GQ Sun Bowl, back shortly. And we are back, and the unfortunate injury to one of our chain crew has been attended to. He's being escorted once again. Kate Bennett on the scene, as well as one of our medics here in Gridiron, Queensland, and hopefully he will be okay. It looks like he's up and walking, and just
He's nodding. Nodding's a good sign.
Get a once over. The question is, and we've got Mitchell Powell stepping in on chains. He's slightly harder to knock over, given he's the starting left tackle of the Rockhampton Wolverines.
So we've got the Ravens right-hand receiver well and truly in the neutral zone there.
Yep, they missed that one. Stegman underneath has got a connection with Corkett, and he'll drive forward. A flag down though, back at the Ravens 40.
Quite sure what this chat's about. It's come from the line judge. So, oh, is it the line judge or the back judge?
Ryan Bolzano will fill us in.
It's against the Stingrays.
During the play. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. 45, defense. That'll be enforced half the distance from the end of the play. Dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 26, defense. That's number 26, first unsportsmanlike conduct. That will also be enforced half the distance. First down.
So, a couple of them there. Blake Hatchman and Tristan Bourgeois, one for a roughing the passer call, and the other one was some form of USC. I imagine there was some late hit action happening.
15 points down in the game in the Sun Bowl. The last thing you want to do is give the Ravens an easy ride to the end zone, and that's could possibly be what's just happened. A false start there,
Stegman
maybe.
looking to the right, and I think there was a miscommunication there. There's another flag. Ryan Newton was the body I saw closest back there, but he's also one of the cleanest players you'll meet.
Potentially another roughing the passer. Yep, there it is.
So the back end
In
of
the back.
We'll see if we can take a look at that one more time. It might be a bit easier to see on, I think we're about to get the wide shot here.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 52, defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Yeah, it's just really poor discipline from the Stingrays there.
There's Raniera Korpu getting a pin for that one.
They're still well and truly in this game. It's theirs if they want it, but doing things like that just suggests that they don't want it, and they need to get that out of their mentality.
Receivers both sides. And another motion here, a very common occurrence in this offense. Bessie to the slot, a give to Holiday Miller.
He strolls in.
Navigate his way through the line and run his way in for touchdown number 2. That's the first score of the second half.
Tristan Bourgeois.
And the Stingray down.
What's that signal from Brian?
Injury timeout.
Called by Brian.
Go for another break. It's been a bit of a scrappy.
It's
5
taken
minutes
them a
of
little
play.
while to get points on the board for the third quarter, but they managed to do it basically courtesy of Stingray's mistakes and just handing them opportunities to move the ball down the field.
I mean, is that really the...
They've really had to do very little.
I mean, we played 12-minute quarters. Surely we've been through more than a minute But that being said, we've had a lot of stoppages. It's going to be an extended stay here for all of us driving home this evening. My sympathies are with you, Justin.
Well, I mean, the Ravens, I think, have only had 3 or 4 plays.
I suppose so, if you think about it, kick off and then...
Most of it's been injuries and penalties getting them down the field. I'll be driving home after the game tonight. Probably make a stop in Gympie and head the rest of the way home from there. Hopefully the weather won't be too bad. I can certainly contend with this bit of rain. Just under 4 hours total drive, yeah.
William Reeves having his mind blown by the commitment shown by Justin Furley for the...
Well, it's not just commitment, Ken. When Kenny Andres calls, one drops everything one's doing and answers the call.
Oh, it happened with you two, so I don't know what we're laughing about.
It's the call of the Ken. You don't say no to the call of the Ken.
I got roped into it too. Look at this, amazing.
33-12, third quarter. Gridiron Queensland Men's Division, fourth and final game of Sunbowl Saturday 2020 back underway. First down and goal. Stegman is back. Chris Clark this time getting involved in the receiving duties, and he'll add his name to the touchdown sheet.
Do we know why the other one wasn't a touchdown? Do we know why Darius's run wasn't a touchdown? We don't know
Unless
why.
that was a conversion. And
I think it must have been.
It was.
Yeah.
That was a conversion. Sorry, we've had so many
Yep.
stops in play, I've lost track.
Yep.
My apologies, audience.
Yeah, we believe it. The score is currently 35-12 as opposed to what the ground scoreboard of 34-12 is showing. There we go.
Just to update some people who just tuned in, 12:35 is the score there, Bayside Ravens, and what an eventful first drive of the third quarter. Took a very, very long time, real time, but ultimately less than a minute game time, of which we've seen 2 injuries, 3 unsportsmanlike conducts, and a targeting ejection.
They've pretty much picked everything they can from the 15-yard penalty box to gift the Ravens.
Blair Rubok with 2 touchdowns so far today.
There was a little hole there and it closed very quickly.
And that hole was Robert Quimby. And just away bounces back. Sorry, number 42 making the play there. That is Tom
Swarm of
Hodgkinson.
purple. What will Damo Malloy pull out of his bag of tricks on this drive?
They're going to need more magic from him.
Ryan James at running back.
No, that's Jem McDonald. There at tail, 41.
James Taylor, sorry, not Ryan James.
James Taylor is 23.
Yeah,
Still not
and
to return.
42 was it?
And 41 is
41.
Jem McDonald. Yeah, that's a little easy to read, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, it is.
There you go.
It's very tiny.
Well, the more players, the tinier the font, I'm afraid. Second down and 10. And Malloy will turns Capewell inside out, keeps the legs churning and picks up a couple of hard yards there. This will be third and 5.
I don't think that's going to get the job done for the Stingrays. They haven't had a convincing, effective run game thus far. Damien's actually had a much more successful game getting the ball in the air. I think that's what they need to do to get back into this game at this point. It's pretty much all or nothing. I mean, they've got to go for it.
Exactly right, trailing by quite a margin now. Need more of that Damien Malloy magic. I'll show to Reebok.
That's
Reebok's been part of that magic,
Nice play.
and that'll be enough to convert. He is having one hell of a rookie season. This is eerily reminiscent to, I'm trying to remember his name now. I think his name is Tommy McIntosh, if memory serves correctly, but he was the Sun Bowl MVP from 2005, 15 against the Rhinos, I think. Picked up like close to 15 receptions from Damian Malloy in his rookie season. I'm trying to test the interior of that Ravens defensive line. The D-line wins that battle. But Lance was good enough. Lance Tomiakilo, that is. I'll probably happily call him the assistant head coach and starting Mike Backer in centre for this evening for the Gold Coast Stingrays. He gave me some of his time as he was travelling up to the Sunshine Coast, and I asked him, how's it different to previous years where you've been the favourite, you've come in as the front runner, and he goes, for once we feel like we're coming in without pressure. As we see this pass almost intercepted there from Chris Clark through the hands.
Another very unusual drop from Chris. Remembering back to the first half where he muffed the punt. Missing a catch there, he'll be very angry at himself. He doesn't like missing those opportunities to take the ball back to the other end zone.
But yeah, to finish off my thoughts of LT there, he said, we're not going in with any pressure. The pressure's on the Ravens. They're the one with the roster, with the experience, and with the reputation right now. The pressure's on them. We've just got to rock up and give our best shot.
Now, Lance is doing a good job at centre. He's got Jason Leon heads up on him at the moment. A little battle going on there. And nothing again. No running there. Peter Brewer with the nice stop.
As we'll see the change of swap. And as we actually go to the punt, I might get you to do the quick headphone dance here with Liam Reeves, Jeff, so we can get the halftime report from Lips himself, who went down to see Darius and Damian Malloy. What do we got, Lips?
Is the GQ TMZ joke overdone now? Should I just get on with it?
What do we hear?
Mate, alrighty. So, caught up with Damo first. Had a chat with Damien. So, number 6 out there for those playing along at home. Coming out of retirement this year, he's played a few games now, which has made him eligible, obviously. His message to his team is just to keep the faith and keep competing. They're looking to sort of meet the aggression and meet the chippiness there. So as you can see, the Stingrays boys are playing hard and not pulling up. And catching up with Darius after that, it was evident to them that the Rays had come to play today. Obviously, the scorelines that the Ravens have been putting up all season, it was blowouts left and right. And then the one time the Ravens played the Rays, which was just, last week or the week before? It was a 40-point win or something like that, right?
48 points.
42-3. And then Damien acknowledged that and said, well, I guess morale was quite low in the last couple of weeks, but to come out here and start competing with the minor premiers is...
Just quickly pause for a potential referee announcement. Hold the phone for those tuning in for the Liam's halftime report.
There is no foul for a hit out of bounds.
That was very dramatic. So competing with the minor premiers like they're doing at the moment is obviously an achievement for them in itself. Going back onto what Darius was finishing on, they really tried to put the game away early in Q1, which is quite evident with the fake punt and the little tricky play that Darius threw the interception on, which obviously didn't work out in their favour, and Darius and his team obviously acknowledged that. They've had a hard reset after the half, which you can kind of see, and they're ready to improve on this lead.
Wonderful, thank you, Lips. Stegman here with a draw play on first down. Darius Holiday-Miller has to evade defenders immediately and does so effectively to the note of 4 or 5 yards. And Justin Fernley, how good has it been having the halftime toss relay toss here from Liam Reeves all day long?
Well, Liam's obviously got a chock full of experience, having played the game for approximately 20 to 25 years. Not just on the field, but in front of his console of choice. So he knows a lot about the game. He knows a lot about what most people think. He's coached, he's lived and breathed the game. So having his unique perspective and being able to get inside the minds of the coaches and players is invaluable and makes for a much more enjoyable take on the game. So thank you to Liam for that.
All jokes aside, it is not easy doing what he's doing. He's been going up and down. He's been holding presentations, and I can tell you firsthand as Darius Holiday-Miller looks to pull a rabbit out of a hat, looks to throw again. He'll have to tuck this ball. Now he's wrestling an entire horde of Stingrays, and they will take him down to the tune of negative 15 to 20 yards.
Well, we saw what happened last time the Stingrays pulled off a huge play like that. Stingrays will be hoping for the same success following this huge loss for the Ravens.
Darius Holiday-Miller, well...
He thought about doing everything there.
He has
passing,
got that
running,
Barry Sanders effect to him.
giving away a safety.
You know, he will pull off some amazing, unrepeatable things.
He's always
But he
enjoyed
will also
watching.
cop a loss every now and again,
Yeah,
trying to do so.
yeah. Look, it comes from pulling off the impossible at times. Sometimes it doesn't work, but the times it does, that's what makes people remember.
Third down.
Jared will be pretty keen to go to the air.
They do so. A screen pass to Mitch Bessie, who's now found some open space, gotten past the original line of scrimmage, can't make the second. But that will get them to what will end up being around 4th and 5, maybe 4th and 6.
Yeah, I really think Jared will be very keen to start opening it up in the air and trying to get some yards on the ground via his receivers. Damian Malloy having to be on the defensive side of the ball again.
It looks like we've got a timeout to the Stingrays here on this 4th down. I think quite frankly could just be to maybe catch their breath. They've been doing a lot of chasing over the last 2 plays.
It's probably not ideally what Damo wants to do, and obviously the situation has forced him to go on to defence, but I just can't see them winning this game if Damian's got to play both ways. He needs the energy to do what he does on offence.
I think if it's 1 or 2 plays, that's fine. You still think about, remember when they were taking on the Rhinos in a very, very close game all those years ago when he was starting quarterback, and then the time came and he goes, I need to get into this game, popped himself into free safety, picked off Jared Stegman for the game-winning intercept there.
That's what he can do, but having to do it the whole game,
it's a big ask.
It's just, I don't think he's got the play time behind him to do it for this game.
The Ravens are going to respect the Ravens D. Sam James taking over the punting duties, cops a bit of a shot there, but gets up immediately. No dramas.
Yeah, most of it was of his own making.
And
It always annoys me when punters decide to run around and get a bit of incidental contact, and you're staring down and roughing the kicker penalty.
for
So
those
like I said, if they move, they're fair game, but the officials sometimes don't agree with me.
For those who don't know, Sam James and his team, obviously Sam is competing in the Sun Bowl, but his videography team is, and you can see a bunch of them in yellow high-vis shirts all around the field. They are documenting the Sun Bowl here, and I'm going to turn it into a NFL film-style video for everyone to enjoy and to help promote the league. And I'll tell you what, he has got some very expensive equipment out there. So really looking forward to seeing the final cut of that. Keep your eyes out. First down and 10 for the Stingrays, trailing 35-12. Malloy over the middle. I'm not sure if there was a misunderstanding of route concept there because Rubok was going deep.
Didn't seem to come out of the hand very well, so it could be a bit of both. But yeah, I think we'll start seeing the Damian Malloy aerial show from here on out. There's really no point in running unless their objective wants to be to stop the Ravens putting points on the board, but that's not how Damian Malloy works. He'll be out there, he'll be competitive to the final whistle.
Second down and 10. Malloy back again in the shotgun. Trying to work out who's sitting at tailback with him now. It looks like a change up. They'll throw over the middle, almost. I thought for a second Hugadike was going to try and go for pick number 2, decided to go for the hit.
I think he probably actually should have
Probably
focused
should
a bit more on getting the pick. I think he's just misread that one a little bit. Thought the receiver had a chop at it, but it was well overthrown. Probably could have just hung back and got himself a nice easy pick. It's hard to read those things sometimes.
It is, especially when you're
Looking straight into the lights, no doubt too.
third down conversion attempt here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Malloy claps his hands, ready for the snap. looking right, throwing back to the left, looking off safeties. Rubok had done the hard work to get between the two defenders, but couldn't quite lay out far enough for the catch. Incomplete. 4th down, and the Stingrays are sending on the punt unit.
It's a nice ball from Damo too. He really slung that in there. Just a little overthrown.
This is going to sound like a silly question, but how big are... I've shaken his hand before, but how big are Damien Malloy's hands?
They're not overly large. He's surprised a lot of people over the years with his passing abilities. You know, when he first started playing quarterback, he was a little bit rough. It was back in 2010.
I remember that, and he was copying a lot of the comments. 2 particular words would get to him: gadget quarterback, as Torzok just chips it into touch.
So, no.
Dare I say, use the terminology of the sport it reminded me of?
The Stingrays' inexperience is really showing in parts. But yeah, Damo, he copped a lot of negativity and probably unwanted criticism in his early days of quarterbacking. A lot of people just thought he was a gadget quarterback and a guy that could run, that's been thrown into the quarterback position, but he's proved pretty much everyone wrong.
Just a couple of Sun Bowl MVPs.
Yep. No, he's certainly got the job done. He's in saying that, he is an unconventional quarterback, but that's what makes him so dangerous.
Funny thing is, as the years have gone by, his unconventionality has become more conventional with the way that some of the quarterbacks look right now in college and the NFL.
Yep.
And I think there was a flag on the play. They could see they go. Speaking about unconventional, here comes the upback.
And he gets
the man himself, Damien Malloy.
That's what he'll do to you. Just when you think you've got the ball at halfway, he'll pull that out of his hat and get the job done. Look, a lot of the time he's got no right to get the yards he does, whether it's in the air or on the ground, but he just manages to find a way to get it done. The Ravens D looking to put another stop on.
Oh, you got some fans. Carl Bopit tuning in as the Rays.
Big stop from the Ravens, number 70.
Joel McDonald. That's
Joel Maddock. He would have enjoyed that.
Just to repeat there, that's Carl Bopit stating how soothing Justin Fernley's voice is.
I missed that, sorry.
Carl Bopit.
Kyle, yes, my son, Kyle. It's good to hear from him. He doesn't call his father often enough, like most sons.
2nd down and 9.
Damo with the keep.
Under pressure, shakes the first would-be sacker as Maddock has been constantly dealing with ways to control certain aspects of his behaviour. This time keeps his cool.
Has Joel played most of his football in the States on the D-line or the O-line?
The D-line.
The D-line, because he started off as an offensive tackle in the GQ competition.
Correct.
And then went over there and they did their homework on him and thought that he might be a better option on the D-line.
A lot of the Stingrays faithful not losing hope. Jaden Pellington chiming into the comments saying there is still a lot of time to play. We coming. 3rd down and 6. Bloy catches him. A free play here if he wants it. Trying to step up and let it go, but he couldn't quite get there. But he has found some productivity with his feet. Hurdle! He still got it! Malloy over a defender and over the sideline for a 1st down.
That's gold. Malloy gold. I told him before the game to open up a can of Whoop-Ass
WA.
number 6, and he's doing it. That's great.
Look at that. Good job.
Perfect form.
Paul Mills and the camera team.
Let's just hope this flag's against the Ravens for the sake of the Stingrays' cause. The Ravens have been getting a little bit rattled. I don't think they expected to have to put up this much of a fight. Obviously, the scoreboard is very much against the Rays at the moment, but I think they'd be a little surprised by just how much the Rays have been able to throw at them.
I think the stoppages have also probably helped. Neither team has really been able to get a rhythm, and if that's going to favour one of these two teams, it appears to be the Gold Coast Stingrays.
Yep.
1st down and 10. Malloy seeming to put a drive together here late in the third.
So if memory serves me correct, the Ravens came back from a fair deficit against the Rhinos.
No, they lost a significant deficit. They were leading at 17.
That's right, it was the other way around, yeah.
Then they had to come back from a score or two down.
Yep.
Was leading by 17 at the half. Oh, no, by like third quarter, I believe.
Yeah.
Couple
So,
of back-to-back fumbles.
so it has happened to them before.
Second down. All right. Malloy has got one-on-one coverage. I think that's got to be coming back for a flag. Yet I can't see any.
That's a penalty.
And if JF's calling for it, you know it's legit.
Yeah, that's as good as OPI pushing off gets.
The Ravens can't challenge. They're out of challenges. But it looks like the booth is going to intervene here. So it looks like
That's a textbook push-off. You're not allowed to make contact with the defender with your hands and push off. So you could use that in a training video.
crazy thing is, I don't think he had to.
He didn't know that the defender had overrun it, Longshore.
Looks like we're about to get the official call. Down to Brian.
Watch down in distance, please. Make sure what we have is correct. We have offensive pass interference.
It looks like they're just trying to find the appropriate.
Offense number 85. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat the down.
And there it is. And that's exactly why we have the system in place in Sun Bowls.
So just to confirm, that wasn't a challenge from on the field. That was the video referee in the booth seeing that infringement and calling it
Being able
appropriately.
to buzz down, yep.
Yeah. Either that or he heard me saying it.
Surely.
Sorry, Stingrays fans.
Looks like the ball's on
It's
the
at the 32 yard.
32, exactly right.
Down counter and first down.
I think there's a 1 yard difference between the two of them.
Maybe a yard, yeah. Maybe second and 9, maybe.
Just a few more storylines there as they're looking to get the chain crew sorted. Onio Kupu, the starting defensive end for the Gold Coast Stingrays, rookie by the technicalities, but it played a lot of football in NZ, I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
So some much needed experience on the defensive line. His sort of presence is allowing Lance Tonga-Kilo to play at middle linebacker and help fill some of that depth. Unfortunate injury, as I mentioned earlier, to the man who would be wearing number 61, James Veal. Be starting at guard. Usually the Stingrays have had the luxury of starting with centre Dale Stanley for a number of years, but it looks like he's happily stayed away.
Well, he's posting regular photos of his baby on Instagram, so I can confirm he seems to be really investing his time into fatherhood, which is fantastic.
Certainly looks like that has been the case for a lot of people in the last 2 years.
So John Karakari is injured.
Got injured against by my memory, the Rhinos a couple of weeks ago in their 18-18 draw.
Yep.
And hasn't quite been able to pull.
So not a significant injury, I hope.
It was a significant knock that knocked him out there. He didn't return for the game, and I think he's been trying to make it back since.
Okay.
Obviously, couldn't come good to a position where he could.
And his brother Ben is in the States, is that right?
Yeah, Ben Karikari, I think that's him there in the black shirt. That is John I'm referring to, not Ben. Okay. Yes, Ben is in the States, last I heard.
I think.
Doing big things. Hand off here to Jed McDonald. And this D-line has been incredibly stout against the run all evening. Change up here, and coming in as number 25, Eduardo Jimenez
Jed McDonald not getting the memo on helmet removal on the field.
I think if he doesn't know, he's about to know. So Jimenez Criado now takes his spot in the backfield.
Third down, a long way to go.
And Malloy protected nicely. Down the field he goes, and
yep.
Rubok
Good defense.
can't get around there, and he's appealing for a penalty, but there was nothing wrong with the coverage on that play.
Yeah, really good coverage from Jordan on that play.
Had it sorted.
Kept the inside press, didn't let him get across in front of him or behind him. Good work.
Looking back for the ball.
Yeah, it's pretty much a wide receiver's job to ask for PI on every non-court pass.
It's like in rugby league with a dummy half appealing for penalties every play of the ball.
That's what you got to do. It's
It
part
is
of
what it is.
it's part of the job requirement.
Just about a minute left here in quarter number 3. Malloy, 4th down. What's he doing? He's protecting on the left side. Line drive punt here from Tommy Torzok. And it will be down nicely in the 10. So there we go. A solid punt will make the Ravens work.
Seem to be lacking some of the knowledge of the basics, the Stingrays players. Again, that's due to inexperience, but like he stopped that ball that was still making its way towards the end zone. There was no need to down that ball. Just let it keep rolling and get the extra 2 or 3 yards.
Dare I say there might be a little bit of PTSD there for Blair Rubok, who did let that kick off
possibly
bounce there, so he's just trying to fix his mistakes, and I can respect that. I'm not going to get chewed out for one thing and then not jump on it the next time around, even if the rules dictate in that particular situation. I could have let it roll. Holiday Miller back. I feel like I haven't called his name in a hot minute, and he's getting wrestled there from Jamal Sinapati, an old teammate of his. Ryan Newton also in on the play.
Ryan Newton solid as always in the middle of the trench.
And I think it's always a unique experience for Jamal when he has to come against the Ravens. The place he started
wore their
for
colours for how many years was he a Raven?
As did his brothers and his father.
Yeah, big history of set of parties at the
But it's been a number of
at
years
the
now.
Ravens.
But it is
5 years in the uniform and
it's
going the other way.
Not a decision he took lightly. I know he did go back and forth with it for a long, long time. Stegman can't complete. Intended to Sam James now getting involved in the receiving action.
It was just a geographic decision.
Yeah, he
believe.
lives up. Yeah, he was travelling down the M1 to get the training all the time, and that takes a toll on some people. Obviously, some people happy to do that sort of thing, but it's not practical for everybody.
Yep. Jared looking to get things happening in the air again.
He also had the opportunity to learn from, at the time, Frankie, who was a wonder at coaching DBs. Frankie Passamani, if he's tuning in, he might be too busy being a successful model.
Lance dropping back.
3rd down now, and staring down Corkett. He's got him, but I think he might be short.
Called it incomplete. Must have had his foot on the line, I think.
He could have had a whole lot of him there, Robbie Corkett. He's a tall man.
I think his bum went down after the catch, but possibly a little bit of foot action on the sideline.
Yeah, I think his right foot there, right heel, was in contact with the left-hand sideline, and that looks like that will bring us to a close here in the 3rd quarter. And the two teams will flip over, and we will begin the 4th and final quarter of this game, and the 4th and final quarter of the season 2020.
Yeah.
Close. We just saw on replay.
I think that was a fair call.
Catch.
Hey, the Ravens, how many points have they got in the second half so far? It's only the one touchdown, is that right?
Touchdown 27, I believe, was their halftime score.
Yeah. The Stingrays will be pretty happy with that. Doing
was
a
a
good job to contain them.
Peculiar third quarter. The first minute took a very, very long time, and then it's just zoomed past. Here we are, the final 12 minutes.
Fourth quarters have a way of getting away on teams.
And Sam James into punt. So the Stingrays have done
A nice torpy.
a good job here, and it's Rubok with a...
Oh, he's a wall of Ravens. Oh, he's left the
Return
outside
here.
contain.
And he's broken into the backfield and will
Nice work.
hop his way past halfway and into the Ravens territory here. So
The Ravens special team coach will be blowing up something chronic with that miscontainment. Well exploited by the Stingrays return man.
hey, look, a quick score here. Conversion ideally, making it 35-20. We're talking only a 2-possession game.
$35-20 with the 2-point extra, if they can get a score on this drive. Sets it up for a very interesting final quarter.
Just to repeat some of my disbelief, I can't believe Matawani's only 17 years old. There he is, starting at left tackle. And Damo, I was reading the defense, considered keeping it, handed it off, and the Ravens defense 8.
Yeah. There has been nothing up the middle all night, and Joel Maddock, I can pretty much guarantee, will not let anyone get past. A lot of experience in the middle of the Ravens D-line.
Few more. Oh, look at this. 3 cameras just because we can. Because GQ got it like that. And Malloy from 3 different angles. How about that? Just because we can.
He's giving us a treat. 2 hurdles in one game. He's just showing off now.
It's almost like Paul Mills knew what was about to happen.
Nice pickup, Damo. The Ravens linebacking crew probably not respecting the fact that Damo does like to do this stuff. Dropping back into coverage a little earlier than they should. Damo hasn't been.
Damo will keep on 3rd down. Will spin. That spin move's not as quick as it once was.
I was just thinking the same thing. He didn't trust his speed to get outside either.
And he'll be taken down for a loss of half a yard there.
Yeah, the Damo of old would have been around that left-hand corner in a blink of an eye, but he just didn't trust himself to get there.
And not that it's still not relevant now, but once upon a time you had Malloy at 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Just move the chains.
Yeah, that's guaranteed. 4th down, they're probably going to go for it. And they are.
Here he is. There's still plenty of juice left in that orange. 6 yards needed. Malloy with a clean pocket and a
Nice.
clean throw. And he breaks away here, and that is number 83 and Corey Doyle. One of the slots getting an opportunity here, but flags are down. Back near where Malloy threw the ball. This could be in favour of
Yeah,
the
normally when
Stingrays.
it's back at the QB, yeah, that's roughing. Got there a bit late.
The Stingrays now. Going to get a bit of luck.
And that's going to take them.
Did I just hear he's been doing it all day for the first time
And that's
today
tacked
from the
on.
crowd. Bit disappointed.
Hell yeah.
You just he's been doing it all day, sir, from the crowd for the first time. Here we are in the 4th quarter of the 4th game.
What are your eyes painted on, sir? Some of the classics coming out now in the 4th
Keep
quarter.
them on side.
There's a knock on, sir.
35-12.
So the roughing the passer tagged on to their gain from the play. 1st and 9.
McDonald
First and goal.
staying in the running back position. They'll hand it off to him now, and he tries to find some blockers, but again, this D line refuses to yield any yards up the middle. And the rain has returned.
Yep, and just enough to be pretty
Maddock.
annoying.
Joel Maddock showing off his strength on that play.
Just bad work by the want to be lead blocker, number 83, just made no impression at all. Corey Doyle.
Beautiful footage there. Look at that. And the rain has come back, and has come back with a vengeance. Gave us about a quarter of a respite.
Scattering the crowd. Malloy running himself.
Malloy keeping that ball low and will ride his defender to the sideline. Making that play was Quimby. Sorry, Hodkinson, my apologies.
Rain's coming down with a bit more of a vengeance now. Going to make the last quarter slightly more interesting. It's the last thing the Stingrays want. They want to be getting the ball in the air and getting completions and yardage and getting touchdowns.
More and more of the Justin Family fan club just appearing at this left side of the booth. 3rd and goal. Stingrays looking for a much needed score to try and bring this to a 2-possession game should they be able to convert. 2 by 2. Keeper again to Malloy. That is the main on the menu, and Malloy, for the second time today, bulldozes his way through 2 defenders, and he's feeling it. He's got the much needed score, but at what cost?
I think it's just his energy levels. He's feeling it. I don't think that would have hurt him, but he's just getting exhausted. And that's what I mean. He can't afford to play offense and defense. He needs to stay on the field for offense.
And we're getting some real mud bowl action again. This rain is not only coming in, it's coming in sideways right at our crowd here at Sunshine Coast Stadium. We're seeing a lot of them retreat to higher ground. And with 7:50 remaining here in the 4th quarter. What's going on here?
The Stingrays successfully completing that drive with a touchdown. They'll be looking for a 2-point PAT to take it to 35-20. That's a 15-point spread. 2 successfully converted touchdowns will put them 36-35 in front. So there's really no advantage in getting 1 point at this point.
And Malloy's there, getting the crowd going once again, signaling out to the Stingrays side of the stadium.
Yeah,
And
try
now
to run
change
it in.
of
I think
quarterback.
he'll-
Is that Jamal?
No.
Trying to see who stepped in at quarterback. It's Lance Tonga Kilo, who is no stranger to the position. He's played there for the last seasons or 2 intermittently. 35-18. That was
Stingrays need to score 3 times.
about to say that was a very key 2-point conversion there. I mentioned it. That would have got them within 2 possessions. Now they're going to have to find a way to do it 3 times. Of course, you can add a field goal into that. They did kick a field goal last time they played. Tommy Torzok, also a noted kicker, but look at these conditions. We don't want to try to be kicking
It's
in.
going to be a miracle.
Vinatieri wouldn't want to kick in these conditions.
Yeah, the Ravens really need to do some talking amongst themselves at this point. I don't know, obviously, what's being said out there, but they need to be talking and regrouping and just going back to basics and just getting the ball moving along the ground. I think we'll be seeing a lot of work from Darius for the next 5 or 6 minutes. They need to run this clock down, get the yards, not do anything risky, keep the ball away from the Stingrays, who at the moment have got all the momentum.
Onside kick is almost recovered from the Rays. Flags are down because the ball has travelled over the sideline, but that would have been huge.
Again, the Ravens, they just weren't ready for it. The Stingrays didn't really disguise what their intentions were.
Exactly. When you got to understand the context of the game, you definitely go for it.
They had just a normal formation. They dodged a bullet big time there. So here we go, the Darius show. Unless I'm very much mistaken, which I don't think I will be. The Stingrays should probably get one of those safeties up closer to the box.
Looks like
I don't think at this point in the game there's much point in having two safeties back there.
And yeah, I'll tell you what, the footage you're seeing on your screen does do the real conditions justice. Darius Holiday-Miller down the left-hand side of the field. He's lost the ball! The Ravens immediately signalling in their direction. No celebrations by the Gold Coast lads, so this should be a Raven ball and second down. And one of the linemen there to save this skip up. And it looks like that fumble won't count to the stat sheet. Darius Holiday-Miller was down, so not that it would have changed too much, but his stat sheet won't be an issue. And Bessie, motion to the left, they give to Holiday-Miller again. I think they're going to trust him to ride their way to a Sun Bowl victory for 2 years straight.
They're going to run the ball. The Ravens are going to run the ball. So get the corners up, get the safeties up. If they do pass it on you and you don't react accordingly, then take your chances on the ball not getting where it's supposed to get, but put some faith in the abilities of your defensive backs. But I just think having two safeties back 10 yards in these circumstances isn't probably the best way to defend against what the Ravens are going to do. And they've moved them up now.
There you go,
third down and 7, 6.
Dare the Ravens to pass if they wish, but look at that hole for Holiday-Miller. Then bounces off the secondary and converts on 3rd and long.
Number 17 for the Stingrays. Tommy Torzak having a bit of a slap at the ball. At this stage of the game in the wet, your best chance is just to drill that helmet into the ball.
Napier tried to shoulder the ball out.
Get your face mask into that ball and try to get it out. I think Darius is going to give it up with a slap. That's a good drive from the Ravens. Just grind it out.
Holiday-Miller with plenty of space down the right-hand side. He's still going, runs this out of bounds. 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. (35-18) the score, 3 possessions, 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here. And a Sun Bowl that will probably be remembered very well for its conditions for years to come.
Yeah.
First down and 10. Inside the red zone now. The Ravens looking to secure the bag and get a put-away score here. Inside 5. Once again, the ball goes back to DHM. Keeps the legs churning and drives his way in for a Raven touchdown. In a score that just might put this a little too far away for the Gold Coast Stingrays.
Yeah, I think that's the death knell.
And look at the way he's holding onto the ball, almost like the ball was the victory itself.
The wetness making it very hard to make tackles above the waistline. This weather, you just got to get low. You got to grab those legs and hold on.
And with that, the Ravens hit the 40 burger.
Nice work from the Ravens. Good drive. Doing the smart thing. Just letting Darius run through the holes and pick up the yards. Peter Chang into the backfield for the Ravens.
Sam James in motion. Peter Chang will get a rep in at running back, and Sam James adds a conversion. And that has been very much their 2-point package so far. Chuck someone in with speed, a wide receiver, and let him take the quick pass across behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, with just under 5 minutes to go, and the weather, the rain still coming down. The Stingrays having seemingly no answer or reply to the Stingrays running game, the Ravens running game. This Damo can pull a miracle out of his running game. I think it could start to blow out a little bit.
Well, look, after seeing Malloy after that last drive, I've never seen a man look more spent on a football field. I don't know how much gas he's got left in the tank.
Yeah, and he's still playing both ways. He was on that play then. Managed to put a little bit of a shoulder in, but nothing very effectual.
How wet that middle of the field is. Mitch Bessie handling the place kicking duties now. And as bobbled, Jem McDonald will just fall on it. Not taking any chances, and I think looking for 6, and yes, Malloy is taking the field. I thought for a second maybe Tommy Kilo would be jumping in at quarterback, but
No, takes a car accident to keep Damo down. Probably a truck accident.
well, it takes more than 4 defenders apparently. Significant thank you to Jamie O'Connor, who gave us a shout out there. Great calling for both of us and wishing us a safe drive home.
Jason Leon back in the defensive tackle position. Joel Maddock having a few plays off.
And that's been, there's so many of my notes I haven't been able to get through this game, but that has been the true strength of the Bayside Ravens here in 2020. Their depth. You look at some of their second stringers. On our sheet here, those bolded are the started, but you'll just go through the people who aren't bold. When you have Joel Maddock rolling in your second line of defensive linemen, you know you're doing something right. Calvin Young sitting in the second rotation, the second string of defensive backs.
Yep.
Johnny Nico, the experienced Johnny Nico sitting in the linebacker rotation opposed to starting.
They
Quick announcement there for the substitution.
that's the place you want it. Your defensive line, you got the luxury of being able to rotate good ballers in and out of that position. It's a heck of a luxury.
And it has been fascinating. I got to meet up with some of the coaches there, and they talked about, for once, they truly got to go with the logic of playing those who came to practice. Mitch Bessie missed a couple of practices. Bones got the start. No one was immune to it.
Yep.
Pete Brewer didn't start himself till well and truly in the middle of the season because couldn't justify it. They've had the luxury of having such quality number 2s as Damien Malloy clearly has found a bit more.
He's just decided to start knocking people out of the way.
And this is why Malloy, he has a reputation but has garnered the respect of anyone who plays against him.
Oh, look, he's single-handedly kept the Stingrays in this game. I mean, he's had some good support. His offensive line have tried really hard. They've done a good job. But as I said, when the Ravens are just rotating the players they've got and the quality they've got, it makes it very difficult. And Damo looking to run.
And Here he goes again. Ball comes out this time though, and the Ravens look to recover. I think that's Jack Capewell getting there first. It is Jack Capewell coming up with the hit and the ball. Oh no, check that. I think it was actually the 27. Johnny Nico, we were just talking about him, and this is the luxury of having veterans in your rotation.
They very often know exactly the right place to be.
And that's Jack Capewell, who, I'm assuming, and it seems very much so that the Ravens hold on here, will become the winningest, quote-unquote, Raven in their history, I believe. He'll have 2 at the senior level, 1 at the junior level back in 2013, putting him at 3 titles, which means he's...
certainly not used to it yet.
Yeah, no, as a player, will be the most titled player in the Ravens roster.
Stingrays with 12 players on the field at the moment. Let's see if the referees pick that up, or the officials pick that up. Dario.
Big block. He's a jersey change. I was worrying that is a Darius number, but or is that Christian Garrett, who's listed as cornerback on my roster, but it does look like Darius.
Runs like Darius.
Just trying to look at the tattoos. It sounds like the jersey got torn. That's what it is. Darius Holiday Miller and his.
There's still 12 Stingrays on the field.
Definitely Darius.
There's still 12 on the field. So
we've obviously decided that
10, 11, 12. There are 12 Stingrays.
Make it a little bit easier for the Stingrays.
And the officials, well, they don't seem to see them. Let's see if the officials notice it before the start of this next play. Let's see if the Ravens, as a flex, can score against 12 Rays. Flags still aren't down on the field. 12 seems to be enough.
Still no flag. Whose job is it to count the players?
You at home, you guys, obviously I don't have a telestrator to count for you, but count yourselves.
There's 12.
We count 12. How many do you count?
This could be. It's pick-up football. I mean, if you've got an extra guy, you don't want him to sit on the sideline and just twiddle his thumbs. Come on, have a run. I'm just. Whose job is it to count the numbers? I thought it was the back judge.
There we go. Jim Wilson, body's now jumping out. They had a couple of free plays with 12 men there. I don't think they're going to complain about
Stingrays
that.
have been self-regulating. It's good to see.
And now I think everyone's we've got one down lineman, everyone else standing up at the line of scrimmage. I think we've just got engaged at 8 coming, and that is the case. Holiday Miller will have nowhere to go. Where was this part of the game plan?
This is the first time we've seen actual penetration from the Stingrays D, front D. I think we might see some kind of pitch coming up. Get someone outside quickly. Well, I'd put a lazy $10 on Jared going to the air on this play. He'll be looking to get into the end zone with the ball.
Tell you what.
Bessie, Bones.
Tell you what, I'll take you up on that, Justin.
My knowledge of Darius's conservatism suggests maybe they'll just keep it on the ground.
Third down now.
Yeah.
Holiday Miller will keep it. Oh,
Nice
a big
hit.
shot there, but Holiday Miller's still moving forward, or at least laterally. I'll bring up 4th down. I'll see if they send on the field goal unit.
It's an interesting dynamic, the Ravens backfield. I mean, Jared, basically did things his way for quite a few years with the Bears. And now he's in the backfield with Darius calling the plays and I guess calling the shots and saying what he wants to happen. It's just been an interesting dynamic, but certainly Jared has matured a lot with his overseas stints at quarterback, and his GQ's Rihanna, Liam Edwards with his umbrella.
You might have missed half that conversation. Liam Reeves is heading down to the sideline now and trying to see if he can get some more insight as the game comes close to a close. Of course, he'll be running the post-game presentation like he's been doing all day. Wonderfully.
Here he comes. All of GQ land will be hoping for a few dance steps. Let's hope he doesn't fall. Don't slip, don't slip.
Too nicely to be fallen. There he is, look at him, committed to the job. Committed to the job is Liam Reeves, and you'll see us through the end of the game. In the meantime, the Ravens on 4th and 17, or 4th and goal I should say, from the 17. Looks like they're just going to send their offense back in and try to score one more time. Successful PAT following a score will get him to that 50 burger. Stegman alone in the backfield now. Chris Clark, pop pass, spins out of the first tackle. Will run up the back of one of his defenders. A stiff arm in place now. More blockers in front. Chris Clark will get stopped a couple of yards short. Stopped inside the 5, maybe even inside the 3. And Damien Malloy is at the bottom of that pile, and he is down.
It's like Damien making the stop, yeah.
Damien making the touchdown saving tackle there.
And he's suffering for it. But again, I just think it's more exhaustion than actual physical injury.
Looks like we might be going to the sideline with Liam Reeves.
Hey Sam, you want to jump on the comms real quick? Yeah, mate.
Malloy is down. We might take this opportunity to go to the Ravens sideline when Liam Reeves is ready. And Malloy has been such a trooper, such a warrior. Down to Liam. Down to Liam Reeves on the sideline.
You might have to hold off on that one. They've refused to talk to me until the game's over, so it speaks to the competitive nature of the Ravens.
They're all business, the Bayside Ravens. Don't blame them at all.
The Ravens all very focused on maintaining their 25-point lead.
And I think Paul Mills is always used to hanging around the mentality of some of these gridiron players and understanding when business time was on.
That actually forced a turnover, that tackle from Malloy on that play. I didn't realise.
Yeah, it was 4th down. It was a 4th
First
down
and
stop.
10. It must have been very close to the first down. Or was
Well,
it
goal.
first and goal?
It was first and goal from the
goal,
17.
okay. Yeah.
First down and 10 here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. There'll be a direct snap to Jem McDonald. He'll try
Risking a
his best.
safety.
And it's starting to get a little chippy down on the sideline. And Joe
It's had a
Fowler
huge game.
been a huge. Now, from the shadow of their own goalpost, 2nd and goal, Gold Coast Stingrays. That Damo continuing to persist and putting the team on his back. Still grabbing positive yardage.
Clock is winding down. This will be the Stingrays, probably the last play if they get it off. They should get it off.
And they will get the opportunity to be the last team in possession here.
43-18. The Ravens will be disappointed with that scoreline, I think. I mean, they came into this game expecting to win and expecting not just to win, but to win big.
Well,
43
I think most
to
people
18.
still consider 43-18 a pretty big victory.
It is, but I just think they would have expected more.
Credit to the post-game ability of the Gold Coast Stingrays.
They would have been hoping to invoke the Mercy rule. That would have been their first target, and from there put on 60 plus. But in saying that, great win by the Ravens. They've come.
Some veteran camaraderie there at the end there from Jason Leon and Damien Malloy, but this game is as good as done. 4 seconds left.
The Ravens have been the team to beat all season. They've dominated the regular season, so to come in here and get the job done on Sunbowl Day is a testimony to the way they've played their whole season, and they've done it convincingly.
The Stingrays are going to go into the package that won them the Sun Bowl last time these two teams met, and just like that, as we see some guys getting into some unnecessary action there on the Stingrays sideline. I'm just going to call it there. Just you want a Sun Bowl walk.
Johnny Nico trying to get some extracurricular activity.
And there it is. The ball is raised. The score is 43-8 to the Bayside Ravens. The Bayside Ravens, the first team not named the Gold Coast Stingrays since the Ipswich Cougars to go back-to-back in the men's division. They exercised some demons there. They had a couple of personal losses against the Gold Coast Stingrays in this very stage, and they have an opportunity to ease some of that burn now with back-to-back titles. We're going to head down to Liam Reeves on the sideline, who has the Ravens first hand.
Perfect. No dramas. Alrighty, absolute scenes down here. As you can see, the elation of the defending champs and two-time champs now, 2 in a row. Bayside Ravens. What's up, Chris? As you can tell, moods are high. Everyone's loving it. 2 in a row. Well earned with the season they've had. Practically a perfect season for them. You know, no losses. They had the first game with the Rays obviously got cancelled due to weather. We're a bit worried up there in the booth, thinking that might happen again here, but I'll get closer to him here so you can hear some of the elation and the excitement. Especially getting both the teams here, obviously going to shake hands. We'll get amongst it. But I'm also not trying to photobomb here. See Nicky's. Hey, I'll cut through the boys. Go through the boys. There you go. There we go. I've done it. See? Oh, stop it. I'm being flirted with on the field, which is always good. It's turning the fashions on the field. I feel like it's a race day. Yeah. So there's a lot of disappointment on the Stingrays' face. Obviously, they've battled their hearts out. It's a really tough game at the start. I can do that. Perfect. And we'll, so once this gets rolling, we'll no doubt get into the post-game presentation. So.
Do this one first. Probably more important.